when you have like a first class honors and then you have this degree, you think to have it all. But you only need to realize what more you need, because experience matters a lot. It's very important that you are technically savvy. For you to become competent, your experience matters a lot. So whenever you get an opportunity to gain experience in diverse areas, I think it's important that you take that opportunity and add to your profile. Talk a bit about my personality. I'm a fun-loving person. I love adventure. I love nature. I can never study in a library. I want to study with music. When I'm studying, I'm very focused. So I got through my OLs, ALs, and then got the university entrance. But unfortunately, I lost my mom like 1 month before the university entrance. And I entered the university. Got married in my third year because I had this thing, I want to get married at 25. I conceived my son in the final year. So I was a little skeptical, worried at that time because I wanted to get a first class. I was aiming for a first class where I'll be able to reach my goal, but I somehow did it. My university batchmates, my family, everything was like very supportive. They were my support system at that time. I stayed with my son for about a year and 2 months. When he's 1 year, 2 months, I started work. So I'm actually from the first batch of graduates in Sri Lanka in HR. Now I'm with Abans, spearheading HR for Abans. I really believe in work hard, play hard. I tell my team the same thing. If you have a strict deadline to achieve, we'll work unflaggingly. And at the same time, when we party, I tell the team, go paint the town in red. So at Abans, we have about 10,000 people in different SPUs, and it's a company which has been in existence for 50 plus years. There are people in our company who had facilitated the growth of our company. They also have grown with the company. Abans is the only place where I got the opportunity to work for a female chairperson, and my boss being a female as well. Mrs. Pestanji, our founder chairperson, has been a great inspiration to all of us. And she's a very well-respected entrepreneur in this country. And it has been an honor to work for her organization. And I have seen, at Abans, we have that flexibility, that empowerment for women to work freely. There had been no difference. Now, if you take our board of directors, 50% are female. If you take our management committee, again, 50% are female, and we all work very well together. So I think that has been a blessing for all the female leaders and the female staff who are working in this organization. So transforming HR in an organization is usually a very challenging thing. There's no one solution fits all. You have to customize it based on the organization culture, the entire ecosystem, the leadership, the business dynamics, which stage that particular business is in. Is it a startup or is it a matured business? So all that matters a lot. And it's a long shot. It takes time. But at the same time, organizations do expect quick solutions in certain areas. There are pain points which needs quick fixes. So I remember when I joined Abans like 6+ years back, one critical need was to inculcate a high performance culture at Abans. And one thing that we did, we designed the entire PMS, the performance management framework, helping the organization to give that visibility to people at all levels. So they knew what is being expected from them in terms of performance. And at the same time, it's important that you get everyone on board, because people are not very comfortable with change. When a new system comes, a new element comes to your organization, you are not very comfortable. So they would like to stay closer to the status quo. So it's important that you get everyone on board. Those things matter a lot. And then people also should see what is it in for me. At the same time, when you're going through a transformation, it's important that the organization also makes an effort to bring these old people who had been there, old in the sense like senior people who had been there with the company for some time, and the new people who are coming on board, they both have to actually collaborate and work well. So we have to create that opportunity for them to collaborate and work. Otherwise, it will be like a more internal competition. We are creating a more internal competition than focusing on the external competition. So that's very important, and that's an area that we are very conscious about. At the same time, organization design also plays a huge role in this, because the organization structure helps a company strategy, facilitate the company's strategy. So when you're restructuring an organization, also some people might not be very comfortable because their roles would change, their authority levels would change. So how do you navigate this whole thing? So usually when you're doing a restructuring for a company, you do it phase-wise. It makes it easy for people to adapt, which is very important. Our vision is to empower people for a better way to life. If we are to do that, we have to have everyone on board in that journey. So transformation is not easy. It takes time. It's like when you're sailing a ship, you can't just take a 90-degree turn, right? You have to change 1 degree each time. So organizational transformation is the same. The only way that HR can add value to its business is by helping the organization to reshape the culture, the culture to become more collaborative, more innovative, and more results driven, helping the organization to build the leadership capabilities and to build the talent pipeline. So culture, leadership, and talent. This is not an easy formula to crack because it's to do with people who have emotions, feelings, and they have their own share of challenges in today's context. And when it comes to organizations today, particularly in Sri Lanka, we are faced with a different challenge because there's a lot of brain drain that organizations are experiencing. And recreating that same capacity, it's going to be very, very challenging. In our employee value proposition, we focus on 3 elements: maximizing human potential, driving performance, and employee well-being. These days, we are actually focusing a lot on learning and development initiatives, helping the company to accelerate the capacity building. And at the same time, when you're driving performance in an organization, you make your expectations clear to people at all levels, so that it gives that visibility to people at all levels. And at the same time, you need to have a mechanism to reward and recognize your high performance, high potential. It'll help you to retain your key talent. If you talk about employee well-being is main focus in many organizations, and at Abans is the same. So we have brought in multiple elements to help employees create work-life balance, to help them collaborate and work together, and to engage and enhance their way of life at Abans. So I have been actually believing in 3 things when it comes to become successful in anything that you do. One thing, you need to be competent. I remember once I move out from the university, when you have like a first class honors and then you have this degree, you think you have it all, right? But you only need to get into an organization to realize what more you need, because experience matters a lot. So it's very important that you are technically savvy. For you to become competent, your experience matters a lot. So whenever you get an opportunity to gain experience in diverse areas, I think it's important that you take that opportunity and collect those experiences. It will actually add to your profile. And keep updating yourself so that you are relevant at all times, that you are agile. And at the same time, the second factor, you need to be committed to the job that you do, to your team, to your organization. Sometimes now we don't see that much often. We see people are, changing jobs very often for different reasons. I think it's important that you have the commitment factor. And I think it's a two-way approach, right? So how you are being treated in an organization, how your boss treats you in your team, how much do you enjoy your time with your colleague, that matters a lot. So organizations should create that atmosphere also for people to thrive and stay in an organization. At the same time, people also should reciprocate. The third thing is being value centric. If you are not credible, integrity matters a lot. And that sometimes we see that as actually a gap in some of these people. It'll make them very difficult for them to go up in the ladder. So my job is, not to become the most popular person or to become the most nicest person at all times. My job is to help an individual to become better, a team to become better, an organization to become better. That has been my priority, and that will be my priority.